Catherine and John, and welcome to Organic Cooking.
And it all begins here, in nature, with sunshine, fresh air, chickens roaming freely in the backyard, and vegetables growing in the garden.
It's been such a rough day, and I need a pick-me-up. And I know the perfect thing, a wonderful cup of French press coffee. And one of the great things about French press is that aside from needing to boil some water, the French press doesn't use any electricity. You could even take this on camping trips and make a fantastic cup of coffee. To start out, you're going to want to boil some water, which I have done in this handy-dandy instant water boiler, although I prefer to use a tea kettle when I'm at home on the stove. You're going to need some ground coffee. I like it a little more coarse for the French press. I think it's the best. So boil some water, and you're going to take it and just simply put it in the French press maker. Just pour it in on the bottom. And the great thing is you can also make a concentrate with the French press. So you can make plenty of coffee for a party of 5 or a party of 20. So just put that in the bottom. Take your hot water and pour it in. All right. You can stir it a little bit if you'd like. And then you just want to put this top on there. But you don't want to press it down yet because you want to let the coffee grounds seep in the water. So wait 3 minutes, maybe 4, depending on how strong you like it. Personally, I like it pretty strong. It smells so great. Wait till you try this. You're going to absolutely love it. I know it's my favorite to make at home in the morning. Then, when you're ready, you're just going to push this down, and voila, you have a cup of wonderful French coffee. So just take it and press it down just like that. Get your favorite coffee mug, pour a little in there, and then if you like cream, sugar, milk. I personally love organic sugar and a little bit of cream, and you have a delicious, fantastic afternoon pick-me-up, or it's fantastic in the morning too. There's nothing like waking up to the smell of coffee. Cheers! Divine! Today I'm going to teach you a super wonderful, easy, and delicious recipe. Scones. Beautiful golden brown. It's so simple, and it only requires a few ingredients. A little flour, some baking powder, dried cranberries, and you can add whatever you want. Some people like to put lavender. You can do almonds, pecans, walnuts, fresh blueberries. Get creative. But let's get started. Are you ready? Okay, so cup of flour in a bowl and a generous pinch of salt. We've got 3 tablespoons of organic sugar. Look at this sugar. It's beautiful. It smells great. Throw that in there. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Let's mix in our dry ingredients. I'm going to grab a cutting board real quick, and we're going to chop up our cranberries. Give them a quick chop. Toss them in the bowl. Now, mix these into the dry ingredients. Add your cup of heavy cream, just like that. And mix this up. It's going to be a sticky dough. You don't want to overmix it because then they won't rise nicely. All right, maybe one more. And then you're going to turn it onto your cutting board, which I lightly dusted. Turn this batter on there. All right. You want to shape it into a nice round. Like I said, super easy, very quick, only about 5 minutes. They're perfect for breakfast, in the morning, or afternoon tea. You want them to have a good thickness to them. All right, I'm going to take my rolling pin. Lightly dust it just so it doesn't stick to the scones. Roll it out. You want to start from the middle and roll out to the edges of the scone batter, just like that. You can take your hands and press into the sides in case there are any little cracks. Then take your knife and cut it into 8 pieces. I'm going to do 8 triangles right down the middle, and then cut it the other way right down the middle, and then cut those 4 triangles in half. Just like this. There. And there we have 8 perfect triangle pieces. You're going to put them on a pan, and I always use organic ingredients, including the parchment paper. It's not organic, but it's all natural and it's not bleached. Put these on here just like that. You want to give them a little space in between because they are going to rise, and you don't want to overcrowd the pieces. And then we're going to stick these in the oven, and you're going to let them bake for just about 15 minutes. Doesn't take long, and you'll know they're done when they're lightly golden brown on the bottom. All right, look at that. Right in the oven. My scones have been in the oven for about 15 to 18 minutes. They're lightly golden on the bottom, and they're so ready. Look at this. Gorgeous, beautiful, delicious scones. You want to really quickly take them off the hot pan and onto a baker's rack. That way they don't overcook. So just pull these out. They're going to cool on the baker's rack, just like that. Oh, smells divine. Wait till you try these. They're absolutely delicious, especially if you have a little bit of fresh whipped cream, some lemon curd. It's perfect for an afternoon tea with your girlfriends. In this segment, I don't want to scare you, but we're going to dive into the kitchen with some strawberry French crepes and a recipe that dates back all the way to World War II. You can't have good French crepes, though, unless you have whipped cream. And I started to realize that so many of my friends don't even know how to make whipped cream. A lot of times they get a chemically processed whipped topping in a plastic tub, and believe me, that tastes nothing like the real deal. Can you imagine fresh whipped cream? Nothing out of a tub, nothing chemically processed, no additives or preservatives, just fresh cream straight from the cow. And believe me, it only takes 3 minutes and just a pinch of sugar. And all you have to do is whip it.
Whip it good.
I have about 2 cups of whipped cream here, and a little secret is that you can add a few teaspoons of powdered sugar. Not only will it lightly sweeten the cream, but it will hold its consistency. And if you really want to go green, you can use one of these beaters. But to save on time today, I'm going to go modern and use one of these handy dandy tools. Now we're going to do the filling for the crepes. I'm using some fresh strawberries. Just going to slice them up, put it in a bowl, and lightly toss it with some of my favorite organic sugar. Just cut off the tops. Throw it in. You can also make a little puree, which I have made in advance, which works as a wonderful sauce on the crepes as well. Little sugar, to sweeten them just a little, just like that. Perfect. Little puree, some fresh strawberries.
When you choose strawberries, don't go for the frozen and don't go for the ones on steroids either. Go for organic. and go for the smaller strawberry because the smaller the berry, the sweeter it is, and it's real simple to cut them as well. You just take off the top, and then you want to cut them from top to bottom so you get that beautiful heart shape.
If you've got 5 minutes, you've got time to make batter for your crepes. So you just take a couple eggs, about 4 large eggs, and throw them in the blender. You're going to incorporate all your liquid ingredients first. Just like that. Then you're going to take 1 cup of milk, a pinch of salt, 1.5 teaspoons of Nielsen Massey vanilla, which is my absolute favorite. It just smells divine. And when I'm not cooking, sometimes I even use a little bit for a perfume. All right, so just pulse this so everything blends together. Just like that. Real simple, real quick. Then we're going to throw in about 1/8 of a cup of sugar and about 1/2 cup of flour. We're going to blend it one more time. Make sure there aren't any flour pockets in your batter. Perfect. All right. Now, I've been heating up a pan with a little bit of butter over here on the stove. All right, I'm just going to take a little bit of this melted butter, throw it in the blender real quick, give it one more pulse so that everything is mixed in, and then it's on to making the crepes. You just want to pour the batter in and swirl it in the pan. Just swirl it around in the pan. And now we wait. Crepes are just absolutely fantastic for breakfast, for an afternoon with friends and coffee. This crepe is just about ready. It takes a couple minutes on one side, then you flip it over and put it and cook it on the other side for about 30 seconds, and that's all it takes. You'll know it's ready when it's golden brown. And now for my favorite part, we get to put it all together and assemble it. Just a spoonful of the strawberries in the middle of the crepe, and a little dollop of fresh whipped cream that I made. You don't want to overfill it because then you won't be able to roll it up. So maybe just a few more strawberries. And then fold in the edges, roll it over. Going to take a little bit of the puree and drizzle a little bit of that on top. Just like that. Another nice dollop of whipped cream. And a few berries just for garnish. And there you have it, a French crepe, or as they say in France, voila, there it is. I'd like to talk to you today about Clean Green Naturally. It is an all-purpose enzyme sprayer. It's non-toxic, it's chemical-free, and it's environmentally friendly. All it is it's natural enzymes that are found in nature. They get rid of grease and grime and dirt and simply convert it into a simple sugar. Whether I'm wiping off my kitchen cabinets and counters with this, or running it down the garbage disposal, or spraying it lightly on the carpet to give it a nice, clean, fresh smell, it's an absolute fantastic all-purpose cleaner, and I wouldn't clean my home without it. I hope you will give this natural alternative a try and take one more step in helping the environment and going green. Clean Green Naturally. we're gonna get started on some quiche. You can't have a good quiche unless you have a great pie crust. And it's so simple, I don't know why more people don't make them. All you need is 1 1/4 cups flour. And let me tell you, my favorite flour comes from Montana, and it's a hard winter wheat. And Gold Medal makes it, and it's absolutely divine. I only bake with this. So I've put 1 1/4 cups of flour in here, and I've got 1 tablespoon of my organic sugar and 1/2 teaspoon of salt.
Mix all dry ingredients together. Cut in the butter and coconut oil into the dry ingredients. Mix until evenly incorporated. Slowly add ice water. Make sure the dough isn't too wet.
I'm going to take a little bit of plastic wrap. I'm going to roll this into a ball, flatten it into a disc, and stick it in the refrigerator. All right. In a ball, cover it up with plastic wrap, pat it into a disc, and put it in the refrigerator. And I already have one ready. So you want to get your flour, sprinkle some on a board. You want to get your rolling pin out, and you want to get your chilled pie crust. Let me grab my rolling pin, dust it with a little bit of flour so it doesn't stick to the pie crust. And you want to roll it out, and when you do, you don't want to roll from one side to the other. You want to start in the middle and roll out to the edges. Working back and forth from side to side, just like that. Easy as pie. Oh wait, it is. All right, so I finished rolling out the pie crust, and I put it in the pan very thinly, crinkled the edges, and now we're going to do the filling for the quiche. It's really simple, it's very forgiving, so if you have 4 eggs, 5 eggs, 6 eggs, a little milk, not too much milk, too much cream, it's okay, don't worry about it. All you need is 1 cup of heavy cream, 1 cup of milk, and about 4 to 6 eggs. Look at these farm fresh eggs. They're blue and they're green, and wait till I crack one open. They're so vibrant in color. Look at that egg. It's almost, the yolk is almost orange. So I'm just going to throw those in real quick. And like I said, this is a very simple recipe, great for breakfast, Sunday morning brunch, a lunch, and it's so quick, so fast, and it doesn't require any special gadgets in the kitchen. Okay, so all you need is a few eggs, some heavy cream, some milk, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt, and a dash of nutmeg. Just a dash. And just beat all this together. See, you don't even need any fancy utensils. And it only takes a few minutes. And now here comes the fun part. You can be creative with whatever kind of fillings you want to put in your quiche. You can get really fancy and do crab meat or shrimp. You can choose all different kinds of cheeses or no cheese at all. I'm going to use a mild Swiss cheese, and I'm going to layer it in the bottom of the pan, just like this. And then I've chosen my few toppings. I've got some mushrooms, I've got some spinach, and a little bit of sauteed onion. All right, so I'm just going to put a little onion in the bottom, a little spinach, and mushrooms. Mushrooms add a really great savory flavor to it. You can really get creative with this recipe. You can make it as simple or as complex as you want. You can make it meaty and smoky and put bacon in there. A little bit of spinach. And it's healthy. It's a good way to trick your kids into eating their vegetables.
I'm just going to pour this right over the top, just like that.
And into the oven it goes. You want to bake it at 375 for about 30 to 40 minutes. Really, you'll know when it's done when it's lightly golden brown on the top like this one. I can't wait to try all these delicious foods, and I hope you'll join me.
And now Jan is going to explain one of my absolute favorite teas, bubble tea. And this is a wonderful treat. And so Jan, what are the steps to making bubble tea?
You need some boba.
And what's
and
boba?
Some tea. Boba is the little treat that you find in the bottom of your cup. And there are different types of boba. Here at Franklin Tea we offer 3 of them. This is the traditional boba that we're going to use today. There's a popping boba that's a translucent ball filled with lychee syrup that pops when you get it in your mouth. It's kind of a surprise and
how
kind of
yummy.
an adventure. And then there are strips of coconut jellies that are just delicious.
What's the first step to making bubble tea?
In a bubble tea shop, they would use lots of syrups and powders to flavor the tea, and that gives you a nice kind of candy flavored treat. Here at Franklin Tea, we just use our teas. Tea's the thing, so
we keep it all natural.
Right, we do.
Okay.
So you cook the boba, and that's a bit of a process. But once it's cooked, it's ready to go, and we're gonna put that in the bottom of the cup.
All right. Lots of little bubbles.
Right, and add some ice to that cup.
Okay. Some ice is good.
Then in the shaker, we have some ice. We're going to put in some brewed tea. This one happens to be a brewed green tea. That's why the color. And if you want it sweetened, would you add?
I will.
I'd say like 2 pumps of sugar actually would make it the
Okay.
best.
Whoop. All right, let's try that again. 1 and 2.
Right.
There we go. And all this is simple syrup.
Yes.
Or
Mhm.
sugar that's been dissolved in hot water.
Right.
Okay. So it's just a natural sweetener.
Right. And to get it even more bubbly than it already is, you shake it.
Okay. Can I try that?
Yes, you certainly can.
All right. Just shake it just like this?
Mhm. Yep, if you can shake it till the ice melts, that's a good thing.
Okay. Shake it till the ice melts. Oh, you can see the foam and the bubbles.
Right.
All right.
It gets its name from, as you said, the boba in the bottom and
The bubbles on top.
right.
And just pour it in?
Mhm.
All right. Yum.
Add a fat straw to it.
All right. Let's see what this tastes like.
And enjoy. What do you think? Good?
Oh my goodness, it's such an experience. You have to try this. It's all bubbly.
Yes, it is.
Oh, and it's a wonderful treat. The tapioca at the bottom is delicious. Tastes great.
Good. Glad you enjoyed it.
It's wonderful. Well, thank you so much for explaining bubble tea. And thank you all so much for joining us today here in Franklin, Tennessee at the Franklin Tea Shop. Again, I'm Katherine, and Jan, thank you so much for being the tea expert
Oh, you're very welcome.
and the
Thanks for coming.
celebrity today on the show. Have a great day.
When I'm baking in the kitchen, there's only one kind of flour I like to use, which is Gold Medal's all-purpose organic flour. Whether I'm doing cupcakes, classic chocolate chip cookies, a simple vanilla birthday cake, or even a pie crust, I only like to use Gold Medal flour. There's something special in this Montana hard winter wheat that I haven't found in any other flour I've tried. And believe me, I've tried quite a few. But don't take my word for it. Call Gold Medal's 1-800 number and find out where you can get this in your neighborhood.
1, 2, 3.